Amongst the other lessons that I have learned was, like I said, marketing begins with the product. Unless you have a product which triggers something in the consumer's mind, you cannot market it. I mean, if you put lipstick on a pig, at the end of the day, it's still a pig. So you need a great product. You need a product which has a compelling proposition for the consumer. So I mean, our first cooler, looked like an air conditioner. We were not selling a cooler; we were selling a dream. Homes in those days, or families in those days, would be very proud to possess an air conditioner. And they couldn't, so we gave them a substitute. So when it stuck in the window, to the outside world, it looked like an air conditioner. So we sold a dream, didn't sell a cooler. Later on, we came up with products which save space. That's another thing. We had these coolers so far, but then we felt like places like Bombay, Bangalore, Calcutta, Chennai. People live in smaller homes. Now even in NCR, people live in smaller homes. So our big coolers were taking too much space. We said, why can't we compress the cooler into a small footprint and go vertical? Because we said on a per square foot basis. How much is square foot in Gurgaon? Maybe 10, 15, 20,000 rupees a square foot for a flat in Gurgaon. So if you're taking up 2 square feet for a cooler, really speaking, you should add that much to the cost of the cooler. So we said, let's shrink the size of the cooler and go vertical. So we created this whole range of products which are space saving. And again, we gave them a good name, Diet, for example, and give a very aggressive advertising. So it's a very large selling brand and a range of models for us. So unless you have a compelling product proposition, you cannot market a product. Or, in the, say about 7-8 years ago, when air conditioners had become cheaper, quite cheap, 15,000 rupees, 16,000 rupees. So our dealers kept on telling us that, your air conditioners are becoming cheap, what will happen to air coolers? So what we said was, we worked on the energy efficiency of our air coolers. First of all, air coolers are in any case much more energy efficient than air conditioners. But we went beyond that. We made our coolers even more energy efficient. We started working on all the internal engineering and the electricals and made the product much more energy efficient. And we began advertising not the cost of the product, but the energy that it consumes. We said 1 rupee per hour. It gives you cooling for 1 rupee per hour. So and that whole thing, that whole unit, we had this unit, first year we had the lantern, Laluji ka lalten, and then we had the light bulb, and we said 1 rupee per hour, and that is something which struck a chord in the market, and that really sort of just once again, the whole argument of ACs are becoming cheap, what will happen to Symphony, just was blasted into oblivion in 1 year, by this change. So we had a product and we marketed it. So I mean, you have to have, so many times people think that Symphony is all about advertising because it spends 20-30 crores in advertising that is why it is selling. It isn't so. If the product didn't have some meat in it, it wouldn't have sold even if you were spending 200 crores on advertising. So that is one thing, that we have certainly something which we have learned.